welcome to another, this one's a design team layout for Crazy Craft Obsessions, and I will have a link in my description below if you would like to go and have a look at their online store. They're a little store. They're just they haven't, cue the car. Did you hear that? They are a new store, little Australian company. Cassandra and Jacques run the little company. It's an online store. Have a look, check out. You may love, they're very competitive price-wise, and they are super, super nice. They're happy to answer any question that you have. And on top of all that, they have amazing, great, and the latest products. So head over and say g'day to them for me. So what am I creating for you today? I am using the 49th and Market Art Options Rouge collection, and I'm using the rub-ons and I'm using the film strips. Now, you can see the rub-ons, the ones I'm using this time are the 12 by 12 sheet. Now, I'm hacking out the title. This is going to be my title for my page. Now, what I decided to do, I wanted to use these film strips in a way that you really notice all the film strips. I have to be honest, I was a little sort of taken back. I did want to use some mixed media on this page because I'll be honest with you, I haven't had my hands dirty in some stuff for the last week. So in some craft and all that sort of thing. So this one, I wanted to have a play. I love how the Adore You sits in those two frames. I love that. So I know that's going to stay like that. Now I'm just having a bit of a play with some film strips and these photos. Now these photos, yes, there is a post-it over somebody's face. That's actually my daughter's boyfriend. And I don't know what will happen in the future. Therefore, he is blanked out. And this was actually the very first time she went and watched him play AFL. Fast forward 8 or 9 months. Now, Angela's playing AFL, which is fantastic. It's great for her health and, you know, to get out there and be involved with team sports. It's a fantastic thing to do. Great way to meet people. And hence now she has a broken finger. So, anyway. So we are in the process of, that looked really quick. Trust me, it's not normally that quick. Now, what I'm using here is the FINNABAIR, how do I word this? FINNABAIR Art Basics Clear Gesso. Now, I have it in a tube. Now, purely because Gail asked me if I could suss out with Cass and Jacques at Crazy Craft Obsessions if they could get some of the FINNABAIR Art Basics Clear Gesso in. Now, it turns out that they aren't making it in the tubes, whether that is indefinitely, whether they've switched over to tubs because they've had feedback that tubs are better, I don't know. I do know it does come out pretty quickly. Like, you don't squeeze it. You literally just tip the tube upside down and it just runs straight out. So, you know, maybe that's why they're doing it. It is a fantastic product. I absolutely love it. And yes, they are able to get it in. So if you're interested in some of that, pop over, mention it to Cass and Jacques, and they will be able to get in the stock. I know they're getting some in anyway, because Gail wanted some, and I will be getting myself some more because I love it. I actually prefer the clear gesso to the white gesso. Do you want to know my reason why? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because white gesso adjusts the brightness and the vividness of the products that you're putting on it. Whether that is distress watercolor pencils, whether that is distress oxide inks, whether that is watercolor paints, whether that is acrylic. Actually, I don't know. Acrylic paint, it may not affect that, but I digress. Most of the products that I like to use on a daily basis in my scrap room, the white, I was using the white Montmartre white gesso, and it's quite plastic. It's very very slick, And unfortunately, the look that you get, I've been playing with different ones, and I think I ordered something. Look, I've been putting stuff in my cart, and I've been pulling things out of my cart, so I can't really remember what I've ordered. But I'm trying to get some new products in and try some new things. Stay tuned, because I have got something new coming up, and it's not necessarily a new product, but to me and my creations, it's going to be new. And you know me, if you're new to my channel, stick around, because I will try anything with any product to see what kind of result I can get with it, and then I'll show you how to do it. And if you want to recreate it, go for it. Do it. Get in there. Enjoy your products. Like I always say, it's just paper. It's just a bit of ink. It's not the end of the world. You're not trying to save a third world country. It's just one piece of paper. It's going to be okay. It's all good. Although I'd like to save a third world country. That'd be pretty awesome. Let me know how I can do that with paint. That'd be awesome. Now, all I'm doing here, you're seeing me add the Distress Oxides. I'm using the packaging technique, right? So I squish it down, and then what I'm doing, I'm actually using, the brush I'm using is an acrylic brush, so an acrylic paintbrush. And it's got a really dense set of bristles, but they're quite long. So I'm managing to get lots of splatters. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually drawing in between each layer. So the colors aren't running into each other. They're staying where I put them pretty much. So don't stress too much about the very center bit, because that's obviously where my photos and my title, that's going to go over the top of it. And this is something, now this is just watered down white, titanium white paint. So I just added a little bit of water to it, and I wanted to do splats. I wanted them to be white dots. Now, some of them stayed white, some of them changed to the colors of the Distress Oxides because they're water soluble. So Distress Oxide inks are water soluble, therefore they're water reactive. They will react. Now they do have the pigment and dye ink in them, so they are layerable. So you can keep adding on top of it, and if you don't like it now, keep going. Just keep taking, I apologize, my dog's trying to get in. It's driving me crackers. Give me a sec. Come in. You're a shocker, Lex. Okay, sorry, that was Lexi. She's my Chihuahua. If you're new to my channel, I have 4 dogs. Usually Gizmo and Lexi are in here when I'm scrapping or if I'm doing a voiceover. I can control the little monkey when she's in here. But she hates being separated from me, so she'll scratch at the door to get in here. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do is, the thing is with the Distress Oxides, and when you're trying to create a layout like this, and you want to just, I love starting with a white foundation and just building on it. I also love using my papers, don't get me wrong, I love doing that. I'm just on a bit of a kick at the moment where I like using a bit of mixed media. So, be it stencils, stamps, all that sort of bizzo. Like, I love doing all that sort of thing. So, this is where I get a little bit game. This one is Lumberjack Plaid. Now, with Lumberjack Plaid, if you're not aware of all the colours in the Distress range, Lumberjack Plaid was a new one that came out around Christmas time, and it's a really deep red. Beware. I'm going to say it up front. If you're splatting a deep red colour, you can end up with a blood massacre looking situation on your hands, right? It could look that way. It doesn't look that way because I didn't use so I splattered from a brush. I didn't use the packaging technique. So that kept the Lumberjack Plaid in tiny little spots and just added more interest and more layer rather than making it look like a massacre. Let's be honest. So we don't want any of our products to ever look like blood on a page. I mean, and this is why a lot of people steer clear of anything red. So I try to incorporate bits and pieces where I can, and I love Lumberjack Plaid. Oh, it is the most stunning colour. Lumberjack Plaid, Shadow, Lost Shadow, and Uncharted Mariner. Oh, those three colours look stunning together. Now, I am struggling here. The struggle is real. Can you see that? You can tell when I'm clunky because I've been out of the craft room and I'm a bit clunky. We all do it. We all end up the same way. So this is where I needed to, so I glued those bits and pieces together. I used my art glitter glue, and because I knew if I moved those photos and those frames, if I moved that, guaranteed I would never get it back looking like that again. So that's why I glued it. Now, the art glitter glue holds these things perfect. It bites pretty quickly and bites. Do we call it biting? It grabs on. It grabs quite quickly and it holds. Nothing is moving art glitter glue. You have a very, very short window of opportunity with it. Now, I pulled out some tracing paper. If you've been around for 5 minutes, you know that I love this stuff. This is I'm going to call it poor man's vellum. Basically, it works exactly the same way. It gives you that shadow look, but it's tracing paper and it's really cheap. I like to, especially when I use my rub-ons, to do the rub-ons on top of the, straight on top of it, I felt like I needed a bit of a shadow behind my title. I didn't want it to be a perfect cutout square, so hence why I'm tearing it, being very, very careful, because, look, let's be honest, I'll probably rip it in half. But see how it needed something to sort of mute what was behind it? That's what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm saying. So see all that distress oxides that we put down in the background, it looked like it was sort of becoming very overwhelming. But once you add on your bits and pieces you're putting on the front, this layout could have easily supported some flowers, some sprigs of tree branches or something like that. You could easily have got away with that. You could have got away with some little love hearts or something like that. It could have held up to that. But do you want to know why I did it the way I did it? Because Ange she likes things simple. She's like me. She likes things plain. And I felt I would be doing an injustice to her if I created this big, flowery, crazy, for her first going and seeing her boyfriend for the first time playing football. Like, that to me was just, that's making it about me, not about the actual story. So hence why, as you can see here, I'm adding some more rub-ons and I'm putting them directly on top of the oxides. And these 49th Market rub-ons, mate, they have redone the formula and these things stick. They go down beautifully. They are amazing. If you haven't used rub-ons for ages, trust me, jump on over to Crazy Craft Obsessions. They've got heaps of them in stock. They've even got, I noticed today, Cass and Jacques did a quick show around their shop and they've actually still got some of the Spectrum Sherbet stuff as well. So trust me, give it a crack because they are amazing. These rub-ons are just beautiful. And if you get the big 12 by 12 sheets, they're big enough to use them as a standalone title, like I'm doing here with Adore You. It's its own title. And I did one last week or the week before, and it was sweet as you, or sweet, so sweet or something. So yeah, it was beautiful. Now I'm just popping in a couple of brads they're just a couple of silver love hearts just to finish it off. And yeah, so now I'm just running around the outside, giving it a border, and that is my page done, guys. Now I will leave any journaling to this page for Angela. She can do that when she is good and ready. And after I've taken all my, I just put the date on there. That's all I did. So now I do add a little bit of my homemade mica spray, and I just put a couple little gold splats on there just to add a little bit of shimmer, basically. So this is the close-up, guys. I'm going to do my shameless plug, because as soon as we hit 1,500 subscribers, we are going to have an awesome giveaway, and it is for everybody. So send all your friends over, send them, get them to look and watch videos on my channel, subscribe, like, all that sort of stuff, and you will all be in the running for the prize. Once we get to, it's going to be a cash deal, so it's pretty cool, and that is me giving back to you for letting me create ads on my channel. So that's what it's for, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will chat to you again soon. Bye for now.